and I'm pissing off the neighbors. Whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the motor city, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the day, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the motor city, everything ain't pretty but it's love though. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah.
All right, what's up? What's up? Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Spike Kool-Aid for Monday, the 25th of September. Give me 1 second. All right. All right. Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. Feels good to win, right? Winning feels good. Let me pop out this chat real quick so I can see everybody and say what's up. All right, who we got here? No, I'm trying to pull this thing out. All right, can I pull it out? Come on, man. You know, YouTube has been acting stupid, bro. Okay, there we go. Good Lord. And let's put that up here. Okay, here we go. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Good afternoon. Vash said, first like, baby. Let's go. All right, hold on. I'm getting all these text messages. What's up, NFL kid? Hey, I told you, bro. I told you, man. We gonna want Brian Burns real soon. What's up, Cohen Grit? Josh in the building, fresh and fly. Michael Aaron. What's up, Shake and Bake? Braylon, crazy dude. What is going on, everybody? Nate Smith, let's put a strong hold on the North this Thursday. That's facts. Y'all see that post-game interview with Adams in the Raiders locker room? He wants out. You know, I was watching that yesterday. I didn't see the post-game thingy. I was watching it yesterday, and 2 years ago, I would have killed for Devontae Adams. Like, he was probably the number one person I wanted on this team. Now, I don't know, but when Derek Carr got traded, I felt like he probably felt a little shafted. Like, that's probably the whole reason he went to the Raiders, is to play with his college teammate. I don't know, because I know the Raiders gave up a lot of capital for him, right? Money-wise, I have no idea, Grit, but it did cross my mind yesterday. Braylon says Branch greater than Jalen Carter. Well, listen, I got to call it up. What's up, Joey? What's going on? The Raid Banshee. What's going on? Adams became a Raider for Carr. They have nothing left for him. Look, I wouldn't be mad at it. I don't know the details of it or not, but I wouldn't be mad at it. All right, so let me get the first thing out the way. All right. I got some news, man. I told you all about on Friday, and that is that the watch party will be happening on the 22nd of October, and the link is live. It is in my Lion Syndicate description. We will be having the watch party on the 22nd, which is week 7, I believe. We go to Baltimore to play the Baltimore Ravens. Most of the games we're going to try to do on the road. so that way we can funnel more traffic to Uno's. They had a good time. The brass was happy. I was happy. I was a little disappointed because I wanted it to be so packed. We're turning people away, but that's just my YouTube side coming out of me. But the link is active. It is live. Yeah, man. So let's check it out. Let's do that. And he was tired of Aaron Rodgers nonsense. Branch Defensive Rookie of the Year, book it. What's up, Sergey? What's going on? I agree. Devontae was upset when Carr left because that was the reason he went to the Raiders. If we keep that defense like they did yesterday, are we going back to the Super Bowl? They wowed me out yesterday. You know what? Let's make that our first topic today. The Detroit Lions played lights out defense yesterday. There's no doubt about it. No doubt at all about it. But I got a question for y'all that I want to talk about this, because one thing about me on this platform is I'm not do people still say wussy? Is wussy a thing or is it wuss? I'm not a wuss. Maybe that's the wrong word to say, but you know what I was trying to say. Yeah, I think it's wuss and not wussy. Anyway, I am not that guy, right? I will stand in front of you. I will stand in front of this mic and I will tell you, the people that came to Uno's know that I'm the same dude that I am on camera here. I'm the same dude in person, right? I had to remember that I was around people like real life people because I didn't want to get too wild, right? But Aaron Glenn, the defense played lights out yesterday. They did, and I'm happy for it. Do I think that takes the pressure off Aaron Glenn? Absolutely not. Do I think that the pressure should be more? Yes, absolutely. One good game does not bypass the continuity of Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn always does this. He sucks at first, then he goes on the run, then he sucks, and then he goes on the run, right? Defense played well, and I'm not trying to be a party pooper, all right? I'm just saying there's a reason why we keep going back to Aaron Glenn. There's no consistency with him, and we need to be consistent. He needs to be consistent. The defense needs to be consistent. Now, we're going to talk about Isaiah Buggs a little later and the impact he had on the team, but let me ask y'all a question in the chat. All right, so wussy is a thing. Okay, wuss is a thing. Wussy is a thing. All right, well, if it ain't, it is going to be now. Okay, Banshee says, this raised AG's bar. More is expected now. Andy Dawson played lights out, though. Okay, AG has to do it to that 14 more times. I need to hang out with y'all at Uno sometimes. Well, that's what's up. The Bears' whole team. Okay, so here's the so AG gets a little too comfortable after a few games. I could see that as well. I am the guy that, like I said, is going to keep it a buck 24/7. And that is that I don't believe I'm impressed with yesterday. I'm happy about yesterday. I'm ecstatic because what y'all may not know is that if you go 1-2, you have a 25% chance of making the playoffs. If you're 3-0, like we should have been, okay, you have a 75% chance to make the playoffs. And where we are now at 2-1, it's 54%. That means we're half and half right now, right? You know, the NFL got every stat in the history books. Every single thing is a stat. So Aaron Glenn, to me, is the difference between 3-0 and 2-1. And then it's really going to show when we go into Green Bay for the NFC. I can't believe we're having that conversation this early after the first quarter of the season. The Detroit Lions could lead the NFC North by a game. It'll be a game and a half. I think if they beat the Green Bay Packers and they go to 3-1, there'll be a game in front of them, right? And then have the half game with the tiebreaker. I think that's how that works. It's either going to be a game or a game and a half. Aaron Glenn at Lions Syndicate, I'm glad we won, but that does not negate the fact that Aaron Glenn has become a little too predictable as a defensive coordinator. And that's what I'm saying. Blitz, I have a question. Do you think Aaron Glenn could operate the offense? Also, that's why I'm thinking too. No, I don't think we need him on the offense. Not going to lie. We should rest Monty, Decker, and Vaitai. Well, Vaitai, I don't even know if he's playing. I fully expect Decker to be back. There's no way, this is my opinion, there's no way that they rest those guys. That the division is not on the line now, but it will be. This game could decide the division later on in the season. The Minnesota Vikings are done. They're done. They play the Kansas City Chiefs in 2 weeks. So if they beat the Carolina Panthers, the best case scenario, the Chiefs do go to US Bank Stadium. I see the Minnesota Vikings 1-4. Chicago Bears, man, they're looking too bad they gave up. No, Carolina gave up their first round picks. They're going to have 2 in the top 5. no doubt, right? So it's going to come down between us and the Green Bay Packers, and I think that this game is just important as if it was for the division. That's my question. Another question for you is, when you get a chance, do you think we should wait, JD, okay, we're talking about that. I like your show using that. Okay. We need to win at Lambeau to set the tone in the division. That's facts. Plus, we went 5-1 in the division last year. We have not played a division opponent yet. We have the Vikings. 2 of the last 3 games are against the Vikings. The Bears are the week before Thanksgiving, and I think they come, I can't believe it. I don't know if they're after that or before. And then we play the Green Bay Packers now and on Thanksgiving, this coming Thursday. So we play them 2 Thursdays. That's crazy. I didn't even realize that until now. So my opinion is that while Aaron Glenn coached a great game, he schemed a great game yesterday. I mean, you get a sack and you get a sack. And there were 7 sacks by 6 players. Derek Barnes, Benito Jones. I think Aleem got 1. Aiden got 2. So Aiden is the guy that had 2 of the 7 sacks. And then the other 5 were spread out. Each of those people had sacks. Jack Campbell got a sack. I mean, sacks was going around, right? But do I think that I think this is a reprieve. I think this is a breather for Aaron Glenn, because Aaron Glenn feels the heat under the seat, right? And he knows that. And what I want to see, don't come out and wet the bed on Thursday. Bring the same type of intensity. Jordan Love has never seen us. He's never played against this team the way it is now. Come out and keep doing this. We need to see that 8-2 season, that 8-2 stint. We need to see that all the time, but we need to step it up. We can't have 200 and some rushing yards on us, right? So Aaron Glenn, I don't think he's off the hook. Wow, it was a great game, but I don't think he's off the hook. Let me know what you think in the comments below. You could say Ritter is better than Jordan Love. Well, what I can say is that Ritter holds the ball very long. Now, I'm not trying to take anything away from our defense, and I'm not trying to be negative. One thing about the Lions fan base is sometimes I think we can confuse negativity with realism. Desmond Ritter holds the ball a very long time. Reminds me of, I think he might even hold it longer than Carson Wentz. Don't forget, Carson Wentz held the ball longer than any quarterback in the National Football League in 2022. And currently, he's not in the league. That's how crazy that is. That could be the same thing with Desmond Ritter 2 years from now. But he holds the ball a very long time. I don't think it was a bunch of coverage sacks yesterday, but one side of the field is suspect. One side of the field have Cam Sutton on it. But I think that he holds the ball a very long time, and that contributed to the sacks as well. As far as me doing a show with Adam Baydoun has never, ever tried to connect with me on Woodward Sports on his personal channel. So I'm not, I have no desire to collab with him. And, it's nothing personal, but I have no desire. He curses way too much for me, but he's having success over there. So keep doing this thing. What's up, Derwin? Sorry about the second question. I was trying to say blitz. The offense needs to protect the pocket more for Goff. Well, that's true, Sergey, but we don't have Taylor Decker out there. Frank Ragnow was looking suspect yesterday. We went through Matt Nelson, which I hope he's okay. We went through Matt Nelson to Dan Skipper, back to Kobe Sorsdahl, and then back to Dan Skipper. So I don't know. The game was so live. Love, it's going to be the QB in the league for a long time. You going live early now? Yes, Derwin, because my son, he actually didn't go to school today. He's not feeling well. So it was a cough and all that stuff. So I was like, he actually made it through the first month of school without too many sicknesses. But today I just felt like keeping him out, that it would be better to keep him out. So he's off Wednesday. So if he's feeling better, he'll go to school tomorrow, and then we'll be back on that horse. But so I have to do this at 1, because at 2, I have to start making my way to pick him up. So the shows will be at 1 o'clock. Branch was yesterday's MVP. That's facts. KD3 says, what's up, Greer? Ford Field was loud yesterday. I know it was. I saw the camera shaking. I've never seen the camera shake at Ford Field, but they put the camera on Dan Campbell and it was shaking, bro. Like you could see the camera visibly shaking up and down like it was an earthquake or something like that. What did they supposed to do against a bad team, Nick? What? Rainbow Girl in the building says, hello, Derek. Gibbs ran behind a patchwork work O-line. Can't wait to see him run behind starting O-line. That's if we see it, RG. The Falcons have a great D-line. So hold O-line. Man, y'all got to listen. Take your time. All right. Take your time typing because you messing me up. All right. Take your time typing, please. It's not a competition. I'm going to try and get to everybody, but take your time typing, please. Lions should have won the game yesterday, but the Falcons' style of play is physical. It was encouraging to see how the Lions matched up. Ford Field has become the loudest stadium. Really? The Bears and Broncos are bad teams. I say, oh my God. Hey, shout out to Mike McDaniels, man. You had a chance to break a 50-year-old record by kicking a field goal. And I think he acts like a goofball, but I respect him for that. I respect him for not trying to get the record. Like, would you have done it? Would you have said, let's kick this field goal? 70 points, bro. That's like college or Madden. The Denver Broncos should be ashamed of themselves. Like, if the Detroit Lions let 70 points be scored, Aaron Glenn would be fired today. He would have gotten fired in the locker room, right? So somebody getting fired. That's for sure. I would have broken the record, Adams or Crosby, for what? For what, Eric? They did what they should have done to a bad team. Okay, so Nick, bro, you've been coming with some heat lately. You okay, bro? You've been coming with some heat, bro. Like, nothing is good enough for you since the season has started. So are we saying that the Atlanta Falcons are a bad team? Is that what we're saying? If you get Lions YouTube together, then you won't have a separate viewpoints. Wait, what? What? There's owners mad at McDaniel. They calling him disrespectful for running up the score. How you run up the score? Because they had how many touchdowns? 13 or 11. It was something ridiculous. A trade. Vegas looks like they're not in it. Oh, okay. So you're saying Eric is saying Adams or who? Let me go back up. Or Crosby. Ooh, Max. Mason is the kicker. That's what you're saying. You know what, Eric? You're the second person to mention the Las Vegas Raiders today. Huh. Okay, I don't know who costs more. It got to be Devontae, right? Okay, who would y'all want? Who would y'all want? Hope your son feels better. Durbin, yeah, he will. He just, he going to school, So I didn't test him for COVID. I don't think it's COVID. But how you go to school, like within a week, he was already coughing and sniffing, but it was never enough that I was concerned. But last night I was like, yeah, because he came home Friday and was good. And then Saturday night, Sunday, he wakes up. Well, he was complaining about his nose being stuffed in the morning. So, and in Michigan, it's weird. In Michigan, you literally will have the heat on in the morning and then you could cut the air on by the time school lets out. Crazy. Picking up my girls at 3:30. Okay, yeah, we'd be off long before then. We'd be off at 2. Branch is nasty. That's facts. Okay, Aaron says Adams. Braylon says Max Crosby all day. Do we know if the Lions are only playing on Prime Thursday? Okay, Michael, so yes and no. They're playing on Prime, but you can also watch the game on Twitch for free. So you have to have, go to Twitch and they actually show the game on both Amazon Prime and Twitch as well, their Twitch account. Okay, so y'all picking Crosby over Devontae. All Thursday nights, yes, all Thursday are on Prime so far. Lion King, what's up, Lion King? Says, could Branch play the Joker for us? He's good enough. I think he could. The change of the season got the little kids sick. Probably. Yeah. Thank the Lord I got Amazon Prime. Y'all could sell Derek on pretty much any edge rusher. No, Mr. Poole, that's not. No. He got to be within the realm of reason. So I don't know I've never really looked into Max, so I don't really know what's his price. Branch, 11 tackles for a loss, 2 for the Braylon with the donut. What's up, bro? Says, imagine Max Crosby and Aiden Hutchinson, game over. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know if Max what his pay is. Me personally, I'm on 3. Okay, so you know what? Let's do this. We're gonna have another segment. All right. So I talked to some Minnesota Vikings fans yesterday, and we had a legit discussion. The Minnesota Vikings are in what they believe. Some of their fan base believes that they're in tank mode. They're 0-3. The odds of them, at least the Detroit Lions, had a win this time last season. All right. Now, in order to get Caleb Williams, which is what they need, a franchise quarterback, has even been talk of the Jets trading for Kirk Cousins on the last year of his deal. And I don't think he's going to get re-signed, extended, or any guaranteed money anymore. So the question that I have is, will the Minnesota Vikings be sellers at the trade deadline. Now, Mr. Poole got jokes, said you can sell me on any edge rusher, and that's only half true. You can sell me on a edge rusher, but not any. So the question that I have for the Detroit Lions fan base is, should the Detroit Lions be buyers at the trade deadline, which is in 4 weeks? It's literally, matter of fact, I want to say it is the day that we play. It's the day after our Monday night game against the Raiders, who, by the way, we could beat. After what I saw last night, we could beat them. All right. So I'm going to keep it $150. All right. Because that's what I do. I still think we need an edge rusher on our team. I know that we had 7 sacks yesterday. Hey, yay. But I know it was a good game. We went from 1 to 8. We had 7 in a day. How could we possibly need a pass rush? Well, we still need one. Every team is different. The Atlanta Falcons, I don't know what was going on with them. Offensive line looked like pancake, and Desmond Ridder holds the ball a very long time. Not taken away from my guys, but that's just the reality of the situation. There's an individual that could be maybe, you know how we traded TJ Hawkinson to the Minnesota Vikings at the trade deadline. You know how we traded for Jamison Williams, and I heard yesterday that Jamison Williams should have been a Minnesota Viking. I don't know how true this is, but according to the fan base of the Minnesota Vikings wanted Jamison Williams, but they were pressured to trade and make that trade from the upper management. All right. I don't know how true that is, but take it with a grain of salt. So who am I talking about? If the Minnesota Vikings have a fire sale, would you want them to trade for Danielle Hunter? I'm going to say yes all day long. Danielle Hunter, all right, in 3 games has 5 sacks and 1 forced fumble. 5 sacks and 1 forced fumble. And right now, I would take Chase Young. He would probably be the cheapest option. I think the more expensive capital option would be Brian Burns. He also is going to cost some money. He's the youngest of the bunch. Danielle Hunter, okay, how old is Danielle Hunter? Danielle Hunter is 28 years old. So he's the oldest of the bunch. I think they gave him $20 million for the rest of the season. Now, the only problem I have with Danielle is I don't know if he was holding out or holding in or holding on like LTD. Either way, I still think we need an edge rusher. Y'all not going to change my mind. So the question that I have for the chat in the comment section is, would you trade for Danielle Hunter? Grit says yes. Braylon says, yeah. Katie says, absolutely. You can play him outside and on the edge. Can we get Hawk back? I wouldn't want nothing to do with him. Patty Grimes, why would we get another DB? Wait, what? Why would we draft a stud guard next year? Yep, and Brad traded up. I was going to get Olave. We do not want Hogback. Okay, Lion King, yes. I see you, bro. Why for yes? Patty, let me see. What are we trading for him, says Nick. Okay, that's a good question. Let's go to Tankathon and see. Now, according again to the Minnesota Viking fan base, they are saying that they don't have a bunch of draft picks. So we're going to find out right now. So let's find out. Because Nick, you hard to please, bro. What's going on with you, man? What's going on, Nick? You all right, bro? I can open up the phone lines. We can talk it out. We can talk it out, my friend. Okay, let me see. So let's go to the Minnesota Vikings, who currently have the 3rd pick in the draft. Yikes. I say, oh my God. Okay. All right. So the Minnesota Vikings have a 1st round pick. They then pick in the 2nd round. They pick in the 4th round. They pick in the 4th round from us for TJ Hawkinson. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 picks. 7 picks. They only have 2 in the first 3 rounds. They pick at their 1st round pick, which is currently number 3. They pick in the 2nd round, which is currently number 34. And then they don't pick again to round 4, which is currently 100. So what would the Detroit Lions give up for Danielle Hunter? Let's find out. Let's go to the Detroit Lions, who currently are in the playoffs. Picking 26. We have pick number 26, pick number 57, pick number 65. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 picks as well. So let me ask you a question. What would you do? Eric says, depending if they take it, I know we traded them in division, but not sure they will back. Okay, Eric, I hear you. I think they will. I think that they will because they're hurting right now. They need a franchise quarterback. So they're hurting right now. The Minnesota fan base thinks they need to tear it down. Like that's where they at. That the people that I talked to yesterday on YouTube, they think they want to tear it down. So Nick, what if they don't have a 3rd round pick? What if we give them the 3rd round pick back? Okay. Here's what I do. Let me know if y'all like this. I give the Minnesota Vikings the 2024 3rd round pick, which is essentially what we got for TJ Hockenson. I give it back to them, and I'll give them a 2025 2nd rounder. That's what I would do. I'll give them a 3rd and a 2nd for Danielle Hunter. That's what I would do. Aaron says that's smart. They really do need to. So what do y'all think? Let me know in the comments below. Danielle Hunter, he's already got 5 sacks. The issue with him can come down to money. He's also going to be a free agent next year, I believe. So will it be worth it to do that? It depends on a lot of these 1-year players. It's going to depend on extensions, locking them up for a long period of time. So of course, if we can't, we're not taking a loan out for anybody. The only way we do that is if the Detroit Lions are, I don't know, let's say at the trade deadline, they're 6-1, like the Minnesota Vikings were last year. They're 6-1. Okay. They think that this person can help them beat the San Francisco 49ers, help them beat the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Help them beat the Dallas Cowboys, who looked very suspect yesterday. So for me, I'm really making this deal if there's a long-term element to it. But if not, I don't want to pull a Everson Griffin 2.0. You know, he wasn't going to take the defense over the edge. I think Danielle Hunter, Brian Burns could be those guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, let me see what you say. Sounds good to me. Cohen says yes. You think we re-sign CJ Gardner-Johnson? I do. You think we trade for a defensive tackle? I don't. One Pride. I don't. I think we put Broderick Martin in the game. And the reason I say I don't think we trade is because why now? Why now? Brad could have done it all offseason. Ed Oliver, Quentin Williams. I mean, all the dogs, the studs, they're all locked up. And if we're gonna trade for somebody of less value, we might as well put in our 3rd round pick. So that's where I'm at. We traded Swift. Okay, wouldn't imagine he's worth more to them. Well, Eric, here's the thing. He gets to walk next year. So he gets to walk. And I don't see Danielle Hunter playing on a franchise tag. I just don't. So a lot of these people just sign like okay, Chris Jones. Chris Jones, I thought he was maybe had another season, but he's playing the rest of this season. He did all of that, missed 1 game, and is still a free agent next year. Like how? But I mean, they have won both games since he's been back, and he's been a factor. So I'm not mad at his strategy there. Cowboys game was hilarious. I'm going to watch all the highlights tonight, so I get to watch. I usually do that on Mondays after all the games are over. Branch is a straight up dog. That's facts. I wanted Payne so bad. Yeah, Payne, they never let him go. They locked him up. Rainbow Girl says, Derek, can we please have a quick discussion on Marvin no show? Yes. Let's do that. You probably could get him for a 4th round pick. Okay. Well, you probably could do that too. All right. So this question comes from Rainbow Girl, an avid viewer of the channel, supporter. I got to show y'all the coats that she sent me. Pretty cool. I'll be wearing them soon. Marvin Jones, where art thou? Where has he been? We only saw him. We only saw him yesterday on a illegal contact penalty that he was targeted in the back of the end zone. What happened to Marvin Jones? The ghost of Marvin Jones. He is a dog when he's with Detroit. He goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars for 2 years. I don't know if they even wanted to re-sign him. Now he comes back to Detroit. We're excited to see Marvin Jones. I think he still got it, but after 3 games, the dude is a no-show. As a matter of fact, how many catches does Marvin Jones have after 3 games? I haven't looked this up. Nate says age is getting to him. Okay, Marvin Jones, Nate is what? Marvin Jones is 33 years old, right? Grit says Marvin is cooked. Wow. Nick says he's the new Michael Brockers. That is terrible. That's terrible. Okay, Braylon says at least 3. Dylan, what's up, man? Says, I think he's got some catches this Thursday. He might be washed. We also have more weapons than Jacksonville had. Okay, Marvin Jones was MIA like a hot dog stand and a vegan rally. Aaron, unless they're vegan hot dogs, bro. I wouldn't say cooked. I agree. Marvin been out here used as a decoy. Okay, so Rainbow Girl says he has two catches so far. So when it comes to Marvin Jones, what do you think it is? Okay, I'm gonna lay down some options and you take a pick. A, is he washed? B, is he just not being targeted? C, is he being used in the offense? You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess you could say that B and C are the same, but we don't even hear his name at all. Like, and even in the preseason, you didn't hear like Marvin Jones was a dog, like he was catching. You don't. Now, I don't think that he's washed. I don't think he's washed. So he's just not getting targeted because we're not throwing to him. I don't think they trust him after week 1. So that would mean that he's not washed, right? He's not washed. I agree. Marvin Jones was dogging. And matter of fact, he had a game-winning touchdown that, if I'm not mistaken, helped send Jacksonville to the playoffs. Week 1 had a fumble. That fumble led to points, right? Didn't they score or whatever? Well, we could have gone up 14-7. And instead, we don't get that opportunity. First fumble in his career, right? Which is outstanding because he's been in the league for 7-8 years, something around there. I think Marvin Jones has time to show his worth. I do. But when will it be? After game 2 and 3, the guy disappeared. He has disappeared. As a matter of fact, only 4 Detroit Lions had catches yesterday. Sam Laporta, Khalif Raymond. As a matter of fact, Josh Reynolds didn't have a catch yesterday. Crazy. The offense was sputtering, and we still didn't get Marvin involved. Khalif Raymond, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, and St. Brown. Crazy. Now, Josh Reynolds is completely different. I don't know what was going on yesterday, except all these offensive picks they were calling on him. But Marvin Jones, where is he at? He's not even on the screen, man. We don't even hear his name at all. And it's bad when you don't hear your name. Lack of trust and chemistry. That's a good one. This is his first year with Jared Goff. That could be the case. Yeah, Goff doesn't have any chemistry like Stafford did with Marvin. That could be the case. You know what? I think that's it. Grit says he's not washed. He's washed, dried, folded up, and wow, bro, I've never heard you talk about anybody like that. That is crazy. That's crazy. I don't think that he's washed at all. I think that it is the lack of chemistry, like you guys pointed out. We know for a fact that Goff is a quarterback that thrives off of chemistry. Josh Reynolds had it immediately. He's now formed it with St. Brown, right? Khalif Raymond, he has it. Marvin Jones is the new kid on the block. I mean, we're going to see what he has very soon. But let me know your thoughts on Marvin Jones, man. Why is he non-existent? All right, so I want to have a conversation because I think that, I don't know, how y'all feeling about our receiver core? Because, see, I'm not changing. I still think we could use some help. I really do. I do believe that Marvin Jones will not be back unless he just balls out. He won't be back. He will not be back in Detroit. Cohen says because he's older. Well, Goff and Jones need to go on a date or something. We need an extra pass catcher. I don't know how Kristen would feel about that unless she comes too. When he gets thrown to, Goff was overthrowing him on the Chiefs game. Jones is there to mentor. We can find free agents that could provide more than Marvin. Okay, Grit, I'm going to disagree with you, bro. I am. You got guys that's not in the league right now. Kenny Golladay, not in the league. Jarvis Landry, not in the league. There's a lot of guys. I think our only option is to trade if we're going to go the route of somebody that is not on our team. I believe we need to pursue Mike Evans. You know what I saw yesterday? I was like, Mike Evans, he done lost some speed, but he's reliable. And I'm going to be real, okay? As a matter of fact, I might make a video about this later today. There's somebody I got my eye on. Okay. Stephen, Robert Woods had a chance to come to this team. He chose to go to where did he go? Where did Robert Woods go? The Houston Texans, who won a game the other day. So Robert Woods, it seems like he's avoided this team. So he had 2 opportunities to come here. I don't even know if we want him. Now, I have a question for you. Let me pull up the stats first. Let me pull up the stats because I might have to put this on my other channel as well. I'm not going to say who it is, but if you've been listening to me, you know who I'm going to talk about. And let's have a discussion. All righty then. Let's see. Well. Okay, let me pull up this. Wow. All right. I need a producer, man. You know what? Since you brought up Adam, I'm like, dang, Adam got a producer, bro. I need a producer, dog. I need a production staff. I'm like, the graphics be on the screen. I will say this. I never watched him at Woodward. I have seen a few of his shows since he's been solo. But I am not... Yeah, I'm like, dang. Production value is a whizzle. All right, where we at here? Okay. So we gotta have a conversation. All right. So the Detroit Lions need another wide receiver. Jameson Williams, the lost child, will be able to return to the facility. I found out today that he cannot attend home or road games. He is still the red-headed stepchild for the Detroit Lions. He cannot do anything, but he can't even practice. He can't practice. He can get treatment, all that other stuff. So anyway, we talked about Marvin Jones and his lack. Where is he at? He had a couple catches in game 1, fumbled, and we haven't seen, he's been MIA since. But there's a guy that we talked about Mike Evans. Mike Evans is 30. He's a fresh 30, but he's still balling. I'm not trying to take anything away from Mike. But another guy has popped on my radar. He's been there before, like a little, but then he drifted out of the radar. But now he came back. Okay? And we got to talk about him. There's some good and some bad with this individual. But we got to talk about him. I'm referring to a second-round pick in 2020. He was drafted 33rd overall. He plays for the Cincinnati Bengals. His name is T. Higgins. T. Higgins all of a sudden has just come up on my radar, and I'm like, dude is kind of a dog, bro. He's 25 years old. 25 years old. He's 24 years old. He is a second-round pick in 2020. Check this out. His stats thus far in 3 games. Well, they play tonight. 2 games, 8 receptions, 89 yards. You got Tyler Boyd. You got Jamar Chase. You've got guys over there, right? Could T. Higgins be somebody that the Detroit Lions could entertain? I would say yes. You've got the upside of age on his side. If you get him, then he's going to be around for a while. Mike Evans I say this with respect. I'm not comparing the two, but in age, Mike Evans is on the, y'all like to say, wrong side of 30. We have a receiver that's on the wrong side of 30, which is Marvin Jones. Not comparing the two. It's a totally different thing. Mike Evans is still balling. I watched the highlights last week. Still great. But when it comes to the future, would T. Higgins be a better investment? Braylon says T. Higgins, yeah, go get him. He's going to look for a big payday. That's the next thing I was going to talk about. Grit says if the Bengals lose tonight, T. Higgins is for sale. They will be 0-3. I just read that Joe Burrow is going to try to push through and play. Is that a good thing for the Bengals or a bad thing? But I would say, Nick, finally, something that you're excited about, says St. Brown, J-Mo, and Higgins. Yeah. An elite wide receiver next to St. Brown would be nice, but don't overpay because J-Mo is coming back. Okay, now, since you guys brought up J-Mo, actually, I brought up J-Mo. J-Mo is unproven. He's unproven. So I love the possibility, the potentials, and I still got love for the kid. I still holding out hope, but he is unproven. And that's another thing that I'm kind of frustrated with our GM about, is all these, is not willing to take a risk on somebody with a great track record. Now, here is the catch to T. Higgins. T. Higgins, he going to want to get paid. All right, let me bring this in because I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to see T. Higgins, he going to want his bread. All right, let me pull this back up so I can see. All right. Okay, so T. Higgins, and he is on his rookie deal, right? He's on his rookie deal, 20, 21, 22, 23. So just like he's on year 4, I'm pretty sure that, oh, right, he's a free agent. He's a free agent. Now, let me ask you a question. Again, everybody that we're talking about seems to be a free agent next year. So the Lions could wait, try to get him in free agency, or they could trade. But he is another individual that a long-term contract would have to be connected. I'm thinking 3 years. All right. Now, here is this is the negative part. And I want you guys, I want to know your opinion. Let me bring this in. All right. T. Higgins. His market value is an annual salary of $22.6 million. His market value is a 4-year, $90 million with a $22 million average annual salary, which would put him in the wide receiver rank of 9 and the NFL rank of 39. That is his projected annual salary. I don't think I was supposed to use my transition. There we go. Can't have them and not use them. So my thing is, should the Detroit Lions entertain T. Higgins? I would love to know what you guys say. Let me see what the chat is saying, because I know y'all got scared with that money. Says nice transition. Thank you, sir. Brad Holmes won't pay that. Yes. That's franchise money. Absolutely. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of tired of that. I'm kind of tired of it. I'm tired of the franchise money. Aren't we trying to build a franchise? And this ain't directed toward anybody in the chat, but I'm tired. I talked about dollar store people. Marvin Jones, okay? Marvin Jones is probably a 5 below, right? Khalif Raymond was a dollar store. Now he's 5 below. Don't they have a store called Simply 10 or something like that? That's a step up from 5 below. It's time to start spending some money. And I'm like, if you get a good player, they're going to demand money and you're going to have to pay them, right? And we have that guy. His name is Amon-Ra St. Brown. He going to want some bread. Panay Sewell, he going to want some bread. Jared Goff, he going to want some bread, right? We going to have to start paying people. You have to be smart with your money. Would T. Higgins be a smart investment? Or do you take a chance on a receiver in the draft? Now, Marvin Harrison Jr. will probably be coming out. He's going to be a first-round talent, no doubt. Will the Detroit Lions try to get him? Everybody else and their mama going to want him. So, I don't know. Listen, any of these guys I'm willing to invest in if we can get a long-term deal. Now, we could also wait. It depends on how close we think we are. We can wait to free agency and court somebody. But here's what I want to see from my GM. I want to see action. I want to see action. I want you to make a splash move that will benefit the team. Not a Trey Flowers. Not one of those guys. I'm talking about a splash move that's going to be a difference maker. How long can we keep what we're doing up? How long can we do that? Because I'm going to tell you what, and y'all know I'm right about this. If the Detroit Lions do not make the playoffs this year, while we won't be talking about firing people, we have to have a conversation. Not about firing them, but what they need to do. Okay? What they need to do. Because, again, winning doesn't cure everything. It covers things. We beat the Kansas City Chiefs. The deficiencies were there, right? Marvin Jones fumbles. We lose to the Seattle Seahawks. Now everybody wants to fire Aaron Glenn. Yesterday, we threw the ball to 4 Detroit Lions. 4. Marvin Jones, no catches. Josh Reynolds, no catches. 4 Detroit Lions. St. Brown had over 100 yards. There's nobody else doing it but him, right? So I'm tired of shopping in the bargain bin. You can find some stuff. I bought Avengers Endgame from the $5 bin at 5 below. Great movie. Added it to my collection for $5. Right? But eventually, you got to spend some money. So would I go for T. Higgins? Yes. You're talking about a second contract. You could lock him up for a minute. St. Brown, T. Higgins, you still got Jameson Williams, whether you pick up his 5th-year option or not for 3 more years. Come on, man. And you still have the draft. So I don't know. The question is, does he wait, take a chance in free agency, or does he try to pull the trigger for a trade? Let me know your thoughts. Brad's going after Trace Claypool. Stop it. Stop it. Grit, what we are saying is paying our QB after this season. That's the real question with any splash trade. I don't know. I don't think so. Because Brad seems to be pretty good with the way he does money. And I feel like he could get a couple moves. Okay. In my opinion, here is the number one thing we need to do this offseason. When it comes to extending players, St. Brown has to get paid. He's our number one priority, even over Jared Goff. My opinion, Jared Goff is priority number 2. Penei Sewell will be going into year 4, right? Because he's in year 3 right now. So he'll be going into year 4. Okay. So we got some time with him. Taylor Deckard, I don't know what we're doing with him. So we might have to start addressing that offensive line more, right? And that's another thing too. What if the Detroit Lions make moves in free agency for receivers like they did for cornerbacks? CJ Gardner-Johnson, Cam Sutton. What if we start drafting offensive linemen again? Like we took Penei Sewell in 2021. We took Frank Ragnow in 2018. We took Taylor Deckard in 2016. Eventually, and nobody really loves those picks. Like they're not fancy, but they lead to longevity. For instance, Aaron Donald creams Joe Burrow to win a Super Bowl. Their pick was Jamar Chase, who had a stellar year. But when it came down to it, what did they need? What does Joe Burrow always needed on an offensive line, right? You can't win without one. You cannot win without a decent offensive line. Jared Goff didn't get sacked at all yesterday. I think he's only been sacked, once or twice all season? He was sacked 26 times last year. Was one of the lowest totals in the league, right? So eventually we're going to have to start talking about drafting offensive linemen. And nobody's going to be happy about that, but it has to be done. Jonah needs to get paid as well. JJ from Broncos. St. Brown is elite. I'd rather spend money on defense, says Kyle. Decker and Ragnow have 2 to 3 years. What's up, Jeff? Probably should have kept Swift this year and used the Gibbs pick to solidify the O-line. I'm going to say no, because DeAndre Swift was on the last year of his deal. Not only that, you got Jahmyr Gibbs for 5 years. So DeAndre Swift was on the last year. You think you got a can't miss prospect in Jahmyr Gibbs. You draft him. You got 5 years. So I like that. I'm cool with that. Shouldn't need to draft offensive linemen. They can just stay on the field. Decker and okay. James Mitchell, Levi, 2nd and 5th for Devontae Adams and a 4th. Trade him to New York or NOLA if he wants to after the Super Bowl. Wait, so we still on Devontae? Are we still on Devontae Adams, y'all? Are y'all really entertaining that? How old is Devontae Adams? He got to be pushing 30, right? How old is Devontae? How much would you be willing to extend Goff? I'm going to say $45 million. I think he gets 45. I think he's right in the middle of the pack. If he gets $45 million, I want to say he'll be like the 5th highest paid quarterback. They have a lot of players on rookie deals. Yes, Jeff, that's what I'm saying. After last night, I wouldn't want to pay wide receiver in that offense. In our offense, Eric, look at Adams' contract and tell me y'all still want him. Okay, I'll do that right now. Devontae Adams. And I'll see. All right. Well. Okay. Nick, I ain't even seen the contract, but Devontae Adams is 30 years old. He is about to be 31. He's still a dog, but I did not know that. I didn't know he was that old. Okay. Here we go. Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams signed a 5-year, my God, he signed a 5-year, $140 million contract with the Las Vegas Raiders, including a $19.25 million signing bonus, 65.6 guaranteed, and an average annual salary of $28 million. In 2023, Adams will earn a base salary of $6 million, a restructure bonus of $20 million, and a workout bonus of $100,000, while carrying a cap hit of $14.7 million and a dead cap value of $54 million. He's not going anywhere. Devontae Adams, we can squash that right now. He ain't going nowhere. And on top of that, you got the dead cap, you got the cap hit, and the draft capital. So, yeah, go ahead and put a fork in that right now. So let's go back to T. Higgins, shall we? T. Higgins, should we do it? I'm going to say yes. Adams is for this year only. Trade him whenever he wants after the Super Bowl. Yeah, Eric, that means we go in and we win in. And even if we do that, that's a big hit. That's a big hit. We can draft another wide receiver before we pay Adams. Braylon says to the no. But yeah, that contract is absolutely brutal. What about Renfro? Yeah, you know what, Ed? No, I like Hunter Renfro, but we need a game changer. Hunter Renfro remind me of Tom Kennedy. You know what I'm saying? No. I even think that's low for Brad Holmes. Like a Hunter Renfro, that's low. I think here's what I'll say about our GM. I believe this to be true. Brad, he do all that pounding on the table for draft picks, but I think he's got his eye on someone, and I think the Detroit Lions are going to be buyers at the trade deadline. I think they are. I think they're going to be buyers. I think because it's one thing that he said in his final press conference. He said, we're ready to win. They think that they've done enough to compete. We've seen that. I mean, we beat the Kansas City Chiefs, who obliterated the Chicago Bears. We hung with the Miami Dolphins, who embarrassed the Denver Broncos, right? We should have beat them. We were leading. What were we leading, man? We didn't score a single point in the second half. It was something ridiculous. We had that game, but again, our defense let us down. I think Brad Holmes is going to be a buyer, and I think it's going to be a big name. That's what I think. Yeah, we got Coda, but Coda is injured right now. We have heard no. Wait, who? Wait, T.Y. Hilton ain't even in the league, William. He not. Is T. Hilton on a team? He's not even on a team. T. Higgins is the way to go, point blank. No to Higgins, too much money. We have to pair our own players to resign them. Okay, shake and bake, but we just talked about that, bro. Only people we got to worry about this year is St. Brown and Jared Goff. That's it. Both of them will be entering the last year of their deals. Both of them are going to want to get paid, and those are the only two we got to worry about. After this year, you know who our wide receivers are? St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Antoine Green. That's all we have under contract. We need a wide receiver. I think Broncos will trade Judy or Sutton. I don't want either one of them, Jeff. Another elite D lineman in the line. Okay, let me ask you a question. Yes, St. Brown is in year 3. He was drafted in 2021 in the 4th round. So he's in year 3. He gonna want to get paid. He is this year's Deebo Samuel. And don't forget, the Lions were interested in Deebo Samuel. So Brad ain't afraid to make a move. It just got to be the right one. And I think right now, St. Brown is playing better ball than Deebo. And I love Deebo. He's usually on my fantasy teams. I love Deebo Samuel. But I think St. Brown is playing better ball. I think the way they use Deebo Samuel from the backfield and all that stuff, that is catching up to him. What about a Jags wide receiver? Okay, who? I'm not sleeping on Jerry Jeudy. I just don't want him. I don't want him. We have some decent cap space. Glad we're smart with our wide receiver money and contracts nowadays. That's true, Vaz. That sucks. Skipper got hurt, but Skipper came back, Joey. He actually came back. How do we make sure we can continue in San Francisco? That's the move, bet. And okay, all right, Eduardo, that's a good question. You know what? Let's have this will be our final segment. All right, so my guy Nick in the chat here has said probably since the beginning of the season that Detroit Lions were the third best team in the NFC under the San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles. I would put the Dallas Cowboys up there until last night. And now after losing to the lowly Arizona Cardinals, then that is probably true. We have the same record and we haven't lost against a lowly team, like a team that's projected to pick one in the draft, but any given Sunday. So I got a question for you. It was posed in the comment section. Great question. Is what move would Brad Holmes make that could help us contend with the San Francisco 49ers? Because they are the bar. I think the Eagles can be beat. The San Francisco 49ers literally have the last pick in the draft and they look unbeatable, right? We know they can be beat. But so I'm going to pose it to you, the viewer, right? What would be the move out of these two that would help us contend with the San Francisco 49ers? Would it be move A, to trade for a defensive lineman, whether it's an DT or a DE, or option B, a wide receiver? That is a splendid question, putting everybody on the spot here. So in the chat right now, which move, and we'll go a step further. Who would you like to see? Now, it can't be anyone. It cannot be anyone that was locked up by their teams. Or you know what? I take it back. I take that back. It can be anyone who is going to be on their respective teams past this year. So it can't be Deron Payne. It can't be Jeffrey Simmons. It can be anybody who is going to be on their team next year. It can be, however, a receiver or a defensive tackle lineman, DE, that is on a one-year deal, such as a Chris Jones or a Danielle Hunter, or even a Chase Young, who is on the last year of his deal. So they can be franchise tagged, but they can't already be under contract for more than this year. Grit says both. Okay. Rainbow Girl says option A all day, which would be a defensive lineman. First, I thought the defense, but I think they shut our offense down, so I go wide receiver. Okay, Braylon says obviously D lineman. Kneecap biting with the Detroit Lions. Say, okay, can we do something, bro? This not directed toward you, all right? And did you change your name? Is this Jeremy? If you change your name, bro, take Detroit Lions out of your name. Take it out of your name before they come and take your channel, bro. And I'm going off script here, but whoever that is, take that out of your name today, okay? So what Ndamukong Suh, he does not want to. Do you realize it's been 10 years? It's been 10 years, almost a decade since Ndamukong Suh left this team. He does not want to be here. And quite frankly, I don't want him. We had our fill of Ndamukong Suh. He does not want to be a Detroit Lion. He's had multiple opportunities. So can we please hang that up? Yes, take that out, bro. Take that out of your name. Just use Lions, because they taking people channel, bro. So I would hate to see that happen to you. The Lions wide receiver core is fine. Hopefully J-Mo returns. And why do we keep saying that? Why do we keep saying, Evan, why you're new to the channel, right? Why do we keep saying that we're fine? We're not fine. We're nowhere close to being fine. Okay. And this is not directed toward anybody. I just get like this. Okay. St. Brown is our number one receiver. He had 9 catches for 100 and some yards. We had 3 other Detroit Lions catch the football yesterday. We need a game breaker. We need somebody who can open up the game. Okay. I disagree with that totally. Suh's contract doesn't fit the team. Suh don't fit the team. Grit says enough of the Suh stuff. Okay. D for sure. Okay. So well, okay. All right. We always be looking to improve. That's Jamie. Wait till he comes back. Okay. Okay. So we have here's what I would like to see. You guys are content with, we got Jameson Williams. Okay. You know what I want to see? You know what the Cincinnati Bengals, they got Tyler Boyd, they got T. Higgins, they got Jamar Chase, they got a trifecta, right? We don't. Laporta, you can throw that in there. And Laporta's a stud. Don't get me wrong. He's stud, but he not, He breaking rookie records and all that. Okay, cool. He caught a bomb yesterday. I don't know what the Atlanta Falcons were doing, but I'm talking about an actual outside threat. We do not have one, and we have no idea what Jamison Williams has. Okay, so this whole our wide receiver is fine. That's not. Come on. We're a injury away or a suspension away from being in a world of trouble. Another running back is needed. Okay, so to the question in the chat, what would you choose to contend with the 49ers? And it has to meet the criteria. Who would you want on this team? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, so Jeremy, you said the reason they took his channel could be because of a newspaper. Okay, let me see. Let me find it. It says the reason why they shut David Pike's channel was because of an old newspaper syndicate called Detroit Lions Forum. Okay, that could be true. But from what I understand, that's probably, that may not be true as well. Let me tell you what I mean, all right? You don't have to listen to me, bro. It's your channel. But what I know is that I had a guy, his name is Chicago Bears 24/7. They shut his channel down. They said impersonation. Had another guys, their name was Detroit Lions Avenue. They shut their channel down. They took a channel from me called NFL Syndicate. They took it from me. I didn't know what was happening. So there's no doubt in my mind that they would have taken my channel as well. You might be safe. I think I'm safe now. But again, I would stay anything away from the Detroit Lions. If you want to just use Lions, that would be fine. But again, that's your channel. So you do what you see is best. To contend with the Niners, we need to beef up the trenches. Okay. So, and I missed the dono earlier. I'm sorry. Let me find it. I was too busy in a segment. D. James with the dono says, good afternoon, Derek and chat. Needed cheese for for traps. I like that, bro. Appreciate the dono. Got another one as well from Shake and Bake. Says, J-Mo will open up the middle of the field for Laporta, Gibbs, and St. Brown. Teams will have to respect his speed. Okay. Shake and Bake, that's true. I'm talking about the other side, though. I'm talking about why not have multiple threats that are deep. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Daniil Hunter and Sutton from Denver. I don't know. Cortland is okay. We heard some rumblings in the offseason about Cortland being on the trade block. But let me check to see how long we've been on. I think we've gone over our hour, and we just hit it right now. So listen. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're still going to have 3 spike Kool-Aids this week. We'll be back again on Wednesday to prepare for Thursday's game. On Thursday, we're going to go through a full. I don't think I'm going to make it to Green Bay because I've got my son. He's not feeling well. He's going over his mom's house this weekend, and he would have to go over there early. And it's not that he's not a fan, but he likes, he has 2 siblings over there. He likes his alone time. So I probably won't make it. But I do intend to I'm going to really, really try to go to 3 more games this year on the road minimum. Ford Field is closed, so I could do that. Just have to pay for the tickets and stuff. But I would love to go to Lambeau. Probably won't go again until 2025 because after like October, I'm not going to Lambeau. That's not happening. You would never catch me anywhere. I don't do outside. Kansas City in like November, December, I'm not going. That's just the way it's going to be. I got frostbite when I was a kid, and the cold it doesn't fit me very well. So, or the heat for that matter, but Kansas City, I just couldn't pass. So what I'm going to do is I want to try to go to the Saints game. I would like to go to US Bank and then Dallas. But the issue is US Bank and Dallas are back to back. They're like in between there. So I don't know, but for sure, I want to really try to go to New Orleans. We'll see how that goes, how the money is. And Dallas, because I don't know when the next time we're going to play Dallas in AT&T. So I want to see them as well. Evan, I appreciate that. He will. Yeah, he's not that. He's just got, runny nose and nasal congestion and a cough and stuff like that. He should be fine. He might need to miss tomorrow, but I'm not sure. He should be good to go on Thursday. Dallas watch party. I have tickets for the Saints and Cowgirls. I'm in Texas going to the Saints game as well. Lucky for Detroit, they rest their schedule. Looks winnable. So what I will say, though, is we got our first 2 tickets sold to the watch party that will be happening the 22nd at Uno's Pizzeria. We had a great time, and we're looking forward to have another one. So anyway, I will see you in the next live stream on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. And then we'll be live Friday to talk about the outcome of the game. So you guys have a great Monday. And it feels good to win, right? Winning covers everything. I will see you next time. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. Peace. Hold on. Let me show y'all something.
Hello, good morning. Horns is blowing, and I'm pissing off the neighbors. Whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the Motor City, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the Motor City, everything ain't pretty, but it's love though. Oh. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah.